Hey everyone, it's Chris Huntley with LifeInsuranceShoppingReviews.com, and in this video I want to give you 3 insider's tips if you're looking at $100,000 of life insurance coverage. The first tip is going to be if you're comparing some of the smaller amounts like $50,000 to $100,000 of coverage. So if you were at our site here, and I've put in a health class, date of birth here, said I was born in 1965, and I'm looking at 20-year term. I want to first just look at a $50,000 policy so you can get a feel for how much that's going to cost at this age. So we've got a quote here for our best company for $563. What you're going to notice if you look through these, there's not a lot of options at $50,000. So the first thing that you need to know if you're comparing $50,000 and $100,000 is just like anything in any type of business, there's a lot more competition when you get to $100,000 of coverage. A lot more companies kind of start there as their minimum. So with there being more competition, there's a lot better pricing at $100,000. So watch what happens here. You'd probably expect a price of about double this when you go from 50 to 100K, right? So maybe around $1,100 for 100K. Well, let's see what happens. So again, we're expecting maybe $1,100 here. So let's recalculate that. Wow, what a difference. So it only went up to $776. So the cost per thousand is significantly less if you're comparing $50,000 to $100,000. Same thing for if you're comparing $25,000 or $75,000 of coverage. So the first thing I want to say is you're making a really good choice if you're looking at 100K compared to some of the smaller amounts. The next thing that I want to show you is something called banding. And in the insurance world, the companies will even give you another break on the cost of insurance once you go up to certain amounts like $250,000 of coverage or $500,000 of coverage. So let's just look at this right here. How much are we actually paying for $776 of coverage per thousand? Well, let's pull in our calculator here and let's find out. So 776 divided by 100. So you're paying $7.76 per $100,000 of coverage. Now watch what happens if we go up to say $500,000 of coverage. So we'll recalculate that now. And now this is 3127 divided by 500. So let's see. Remember that our cost of insurance was $7.76, and let's see if that goes down. It should. So now we're looking at 3127 divided by 500, and our cost per thousand is $6.25. So it's quite a bit less. It's about maybe 10% less per $1,000 of coverage when you go up to $500,000 of coverage. So that's just something called banding. So if you're looking at, let's say, 100,000 to 250K, you'll get a little bit better deal per thousand if you do go up to those higher amounts. You won't necessarily get that deal if you just go up to 125, 150, because you haven't reached that band yet. The bands are at 250, 500, $1 million with most companies. The last thing that I want to show you is if you're struggling to make the premium to make it work for $100,000 of coverage, and maybe you want a little bit more, I would recommend that you do try to get more coverage. Okay, so let's say you really feel like you need 250K, right? And that's $137 per month, and that's a little bit out of your budget. What you might want to do instead here is recalculate this at 10-year term. Okay, and let's bring that back up to 250K. So we're at about $78 per month. So if that's affordable to you, I'd rather see you do $250,000 than $100,000 at 20-year term, because this way you've only got your coverage locked in for 10 years, but you've got at least the amount you need. Over those 10 years, you can work to get your financial situation in order. You can pay down your debts. You can put money away. You can work on your health so that hopefully 10 years down the road, if you still need coverage, you're healthy enough to get it. So those are some of the things that I'd be thinking about. if you're looking at a $100,000 life insurance policy. Thanks a lot, and we hope to see you again soon.